Good day, people of God. This is your brother, Pastor Eric I. This is a quick one from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 5. I'm beginning from verse 15. He said, "And he returned to the man of God, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, Behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant." But he said, "As the Lord liveth before whom I stand, I will receive none." And he urged him to take it back, but he refused. Now this is concerning Naaman, the commander of the Syrian army, and Elisha. Now there is a reason why Elisha did not accept the gift of the Syrian commander. In the ministry God has given to us, there are three major blunders, three major things among the lot that quickly destroys a man's ministry or a man's calling. The first is sexual immorality. The second is pride. And the third is greed. In fact, when you search through scriptures, you are going to see that any man that fell because of one of these three possibilities. For example, we saw Nebuchadnezzar fall because of pride. We saw King Solomon fall because of sexual immorality. In fact, in the book of Proverbs, the Bible calls it the way that destroys kings. In fact, we saw Bala falling because of greed. Now, when Elisha, through the grace of God, healed Naaman wanted to offer gifts, but according to the scriptures, Elisha refused, of which we saw later on that Gehazi went and took it, and the leprosy of Naaman remained in his household. I was trying to meditate why Elisha refused to accept the gift of Naaman. And then the Holy Ghost inspired me. You have to understand that when an Israelite comes to visit a prophet, they come with gift and the prophet needs to accept it. And part of the reason is because these men are separated unto God, and because of that, they are not allowed to use their hands to do anything except to put it into the work of the ministry, just like the Levites. And because of that, they receive their rewards from the altar. So when you come to visit a prophet, you come with a gift. In fact, we saw that when Saul wanted to visit Samuel and speak to him about the lost assets, the Bible said he asked, "Where shall I find gift to give to the prophet?" So it's a custom that they do. When you come to visit a prophet, you need to come with a gift to honor him. However, when Naaman came to visit Elisha, and Elisha, through the grace of God, has healed him, the Bible said he also wanted to offer gift unto Elisha, but Elisha needed to refuse. Now, the reason for that refusal was because when an Israelite comes to offer a gift to the prophet, he comes to do that in honor of God. Take note, he comes to do that in honor of God. They revere God, and because of that, they are giving their gift unto God, and God will not appear physically to take it. They will need to give to his servant, his representative, which is the prophet. However, in the case of Naaman, before he came to visit Elisha, was an idol worshiper. In fact, he has visited many shrines. He has visited many spirit, consulted them concerning his ailment, and it wasn't successful. So he came to Elisha, and through the grace of God, Elisha healed him. The gift he was bringing to Elisha was not a gift that was being given in honor of God. Because when people goes to visit those shrines, the gift that they present to those shrines are not necessarily in honor of those spirits. It's somewhat like a payment for their service, a payment for the things they did for them. And that is why if you have ever visited a shrine before and you refuse to bring that, the spirit begins to haunt you. It's like a transaction. It's not something you do willingly. It's something you have to do because it is like a payment unto them. So when you refuse to do it, the spirit can haunt you until it takes something from you. Now, when Haman got healed from Elisha and brought the gift, in the mind of Naaman, he was not necessarily honoring God, but he was paying for the service that Elisha offered unto him. And that is a big red flag, because if Elisha accepts that gift, in the eyes of Naaman, God will look like every other God, a God that cannot perform, a God that cannot give freely. And that is contrary to the God that we know. The Bible said he giveth freely and he upbraided not. So if Elisha accept that gift, he has allowed himself to see the God of Israel as a God that is on the same unit with the idols that Naaman goes to visit. And because of that, Elisha would not have honored God in the eyes of Naaman. Now, this is what is most important as ministers of God. We need to be very, very careful, because there will be many people that will approach us coming with gifts and resources. And we need to be wise to discern their motives in order to give us a clear decision as to whether we will receive those gifts or not. It's not every gift that you are supposed to receive, because if you do so, for some people, you are portraying God to be a God that wants their resources, a God that needs something from them before he can perform for them, a God that needs something from them as a payment before he can actually help them. But that is not the way of our God. If that person that is bringing those gifts is not bringing it because they are honoring God, but have other ulterior motive, you as a servant of God, you are not supposed to accept it, because that will give an opportunity for our God to be blasphemed in the eyes of those people. And so we have to be very careful. It is one thing you don't know. If you don't know and you took it, well, that is between you and God. God actually may have mercy. But if you know and yet you go on to receive it, you are actually doing what is not right before God, and you are going to receive judgment from God. And that is why Elisha steadfastly refused that gift, and Gehazi went behind his back and took it, and the leprosy of Naaman, the Bible said, he stayed within his house. So be very careful, so that you will not receive what God is not receiving. Thank you.